books. Can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you here from the Sports Money Network. My name is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, December the 18th. There it is. And we're getting ready for our sports betting day here with bowl game action tonight. 2 bowl games. So now we're really heating up here in bowl season. We got a couple of games tonight, including Cal and UNLV as a late feature. Western Kentucky taking on JMU at a early start, an early evening, late afternoon start here out west. We got a modest 5-game NHL card, and I guess it's mostly about college basketball. I've selected about 7 or 8 games to look at here, but I think mostly it'll be about the steam rolling in and see how these lines are moving here today on this big college basketball card. We could go over them all. I guess today, if you guys were up for it. I mean, we've only got here about, I would say about 65 or 70 college basketball games or so. So no better way to spend a whole morning here, but I thought we'd keep it down to about 75 minutes here today. Maybe take it a little light here on Wednesday. We're really getting ready for some hot action here heading into the weekend, man. Can't wait for our first ever playoffs in the college football playoff system, if you will. Can't wait for Friday night's game with Notre Dame and Indiana. Could there be snow on the ground in South Bend? Will that equalize or neutralize things a bit for the underdog? And then the 3 big games on Saturday as well. And I did catch wind of Mikey's plans. Maybe there'll be some live companion coverage here this week of college football, and don't forget NFL football on Saturday here as well this weekend, and might have some companion coverage here on stream, said Mikey last night. So going to be a pretty awesome weekend for sure. I mean, getting down to the big time games here. I did see a little bit of breaking news here this morning. The Ivy League said they will join the FCS playoffs here starting in 2025. The Ivy League usually shuts it down and doesn't participate in the FCS playoffs, but that's about to change, and I think probably a good move for the Ivy League. Those games are getting more and more popular. The FCS, and I don't know, I watched that exciting Division II game last night with Slippery Rock and Ferris State. I mean, all these games are wild and fun. So, we follow the Ivy League pretty closely here on the Morning Steam, obviously, and with our coverage, we have some coverage of FCS you're not going to find really anywhere else. here. Yeah, there's a few that do it, but we at least take a look at the markets there and take a look at those games. And then when we get to the playoffs, gives us a little credibility. We're going in there with Montana State, of course, rolling here to win the championship. I know Dave Dickens knows about our Montana State Bobcats. I see him there in the chat, and I'll say hello to everyone right now as we get ready for the action tonight. Let's go over there and say hi. I don't know what else we could do as far as a recap. We will recap here a little bit, but let me say hello to the folks coming in the chat, and we'll get rolling with our program today. Want to say hello to Joe T. He's kind of running things here today, it looks like. Opens the door. He's got the wrench. He's ready to go, keeping all the trolls out of my hair today, and so I don't get in trouble again. Here's Truth Teller. Great to have Truth Teller here. Here's a little steam rolling in for Truth Teller. I know he could use a little information today, a little free information, and let's take a look at Arkansas in their bowl game. They're taking a little steam right now. How about a little bowl game steam here with the Hogs right now in their matchup here in the postseason? So we're seeing a little bit of action here right now with Arkansas taking some steam. I think they were getting a point or two, and now this one could be down to a pick'em or so in their game. So we're really waiting on that college basketball steam and see how we're rolling here today. But let's take a look at some of the matchups here. Well, about, like I said, I think I've selected 6 or 7. We could have gone deeper, but just sticking to the main TV games here. I think today, Cash Kane, hello today. How about Cash saying, I gave out Kansas State yesterday in that game, and why not start there and take a look at some of the games yesterday in college basketball. I could only manage a 500 day there, but the Drake Kansas State, what a game that was yesterday with the overtime yesterday, and we did have Drake here on the show as our free pick, so hopefully you rolled there with Drake. It wasn't easy, but they did look the best there in overtime. Kansas State did a nice job too. That was definitely one of the games of the season, it felt like, there yesterday. Truth Teller's here. He has an aversion to people like me. Really doesn't like people like me, but he puts up with me a little bit. Says I should be rich by now. Don't, Truth Teller, look at me. Don't I look rich, my friend? I mean, look at, you'd think there'd be 1,000 people in here watching this show by now with all the great information I've given them. Come on, man, share the link, like and subscribe. Oh, he doesn't hold it personally. Hey, we got Northeastern and UMass taking some steam right here, right now, in college basketball near the top of the board here. Total moving to the over here at 149. Call it 150 right now. We're seeing a little steam here. We've seen steam on several games so far, but we're just getting rolling here. Call this one 149.5 right now, but probably 150 if I were to take a peek at the actual screen here a little bit. Is getting some moves here. We're planning on getting plenty of moves. So Truth Teller thinks I'm holding back here on some of my information. I'm giving the best I got here every day. What he says, though, is that, the reason I explained it here before, maybe Truth Teller wasn't here, but I don't have many friends. And what I've done is kind of cultivated a community. So I have some people to hang out with and talk to. Pretty lonely old man here in the satellite studios in Las Vegas. Don't have many friends or anywhere to go. So I just say, why don't I just start up a show and try to round up as many people as I can to talk to me in the morning and to keep me sane. If I were to sit here and just be rich all day off of my picks, I don't know. I mean, you might have me confused for the guys that are picking 70, 80, and 90%. That ain't going to be me here. If you do know who they are, please let us know, because we would like to, I will gladly. Let me just say this. I will gladly, if you've got some people out there that that are hitting, 70, 80, 90% on minus 10, 110 bets, please let me know. I will pay for those picks. I make no mistake about it. All right. But if you want to hang with me and just get solid information, you've come to the right place. As we get ready to go here on our show. He said if you were really good, you could just, he says that there's a lot of bots out there too selling picks. I went to Grok. I don't know if you guys know what Grok is. Grok kind of is a artificial intelligence tool used on Twitter, and Grok told me about. They said, would you like an AI career coach? And Grok kind of coached me up a little bit, actually, and said some of the things I could do as a pick seller would be look into more advanced strategies, statistical analysis, or machine learning for sports prediction that can give you not only refine your picks, but also give you a technical edge over your competitors. You can attend industry conferences, engage with sports analysts, and perhaps even collaborate with other influencers in the sports betting space, such as on YouTube or X. Networking can lead to guest appearances, collaborations, or even job opportunities in sports media or analytic firms. I mean, who knew that this type of business could be so lucrative? Also, it says consistency, keep up with your daily stream. So I took that, like do it every day, but also create content that has a longer shelf life. Since sports betting can be volatile, ensure you're not overly dependent on betting success for your income. Diversify by doing streams with your brand, and watch out for future trends as well. Here with virtual reality and augmented reality, similar to what you're saying there, but those might become platforms for sports betting experiences. We just saw YouTube yesterday say that they'll be offering we talk about these companion streams soon here in the future. Not in the future. I read it on Awful Announcing. If you guys follow that website, said that you might have a situation where you would go to your game, and then instead of listening to the announcers, it might present you with a few other options, maybe channels that you follow. Say, oh, watch the game with Sports Money Network, watch the game with unnamed website network, and you might actually choose your companion experience. So this is the type of experience that I'm trying to give to people. I think you might have me confused with some schlep hawking picks here online. So maybe I'll give you my 900 number. You can call in there. So anyways, Grok gave me some great advice. He said, remember, my niche in sports betting analysis is lucrative but competitive, and staying ahead means constantly learning, adapting, and engaging with your community. So I thought that was pretty good advice from an AI bot. I kind of took it to heed. So all right, let me see who else is here. That was fun. Let's see. Dave is here though right now. What is he saying? Oh, like and subscribe, share, hit the like button, and follow our channel here, Sports Money Network on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting network. Wouldn't that be cool? You'd be like, it comes up saying Vikings at Packers. Watch the game with Sports Money Network, and we'll be on instead of Tony Romo or something like that. I guess that's kind of what the companion streams are out there right now. T-Bird's here today. Good morning to Thomas, and Dre's here today. How about it? All right, Dre, good to see you. Thomas says, like and subscribe, share this video. Thomas is our man here, helping us try to get to that consensus glory. We were out of it from the get-go yesterday with DePaul. They got rocked. I was with you guys there, and I think I pushed on the total with my pick here on the show. We did have some nice winners on the show yesterday. We had South Carolina as our pick here on the show in that thriller against Clemson. Good ball games yesterday. We also had the Florida Gators yesterday. They got it done late, but you know who had the easier winner there, no doubt, was Subhuman Gaucho. He came in here in the chat and said go over. And I don't know, what was the score, 90-90 or something like that by the time it was there. I did have premium pick winner, James Madison and Wake Forest game to go under. Also, premium pick winner, St. Bonaventure and Siena game to go under. We had a winner here on the show, Seton Hall and Villanova game to go under as well. I gave out Drake, remember? I gave out Ohio State, said lay 19.5 or 20, and I think they won by 21 there yesterday. And Also, we had Merrimack late against Stanford. Hey, did you guys catch me over there on the Nuke the House channel yesterday? I was hanging out with Holden Kushner and Sean Fox, and we had a great time watching the NBA Cup yesterday. And in NBA Cup action, we had the clean sweep right here. We had the pick on the show, the secondhand pick, if you will, with the Milwaukee Bucks plus the points, but they get it done in an easily and impressive fashion as Milwaukee kind of rears its head up and said, hey, don't forget about us and don't forget about our MVP man, Giannis Antetokounmpo. If anyone has a right not to want to play hard in those games, right, because it kind of came down to saying, look, the superstars are already getting paid. They're only going to get 1 day's pay for playing this game, and this one doesn't even count in the standings, right? But Antetokounmpo comes to play, gets all his buddies an extra $500,000 there with the win last night. OKC showing where their problems lie when going up against some certain types of teams, despite that 20-6 record or whatever it is now. But we did have the premium pick. The subscription pick was on the under in Milwaukee. That was the best play, and it was the best play, wasn't it, yesterday? Also, NHL action. We rolled a 5-1 day on our premium picks over there, so hopefully you guys are able to afford that 50 cents a day to pick up those picks. I think I went 12-6-1 by my count with those subscription plays. So, hey, if 50 cents a day is a little too much, I'll try my best here to give you some free plays here in the chat on the show. But, hey, for 50 cents a day, you could have went 12-6-1 with me yesterday, winners in the NHL included. Buffalo and Montreal game to go over. We got there yesterday. We also gave out the Canadians right here on this show. Canadians rocking the Sabres to their 11th straight defeat last night. Wow, Sabres. Columbus and Tampa Bay, we had that one to go over. We also had Tampa Bay on the puck line here on the show. We also had winners here. Mikey Money had it big time yesterday on pre-gaming Nashville over the Rangers. A tricky line, but he read right through it and had the win there yesterday. Also, I gave out the under here on the show. Also, premium pick winner on the under, New Jersey Devils, St. Louis Blues game to go under. Yesterday, also, we have the Calgary Flames as our premium pick winner as well. Mikey and I both agreed on our shows. Mikey had Ottawa. I had Ottawa right here on the show. Ottawa over the Kraken in a shutout yesterday, and we did give out the Sharks on the puck line on the show yesterday against the Jets in a 4-3 Jets victory there yesterday. So we had some winners, and like I said, I was over there with the guys on Nuke the House. I gave out a winner there yesterday with Boise State over Texas Southern minus 24 points. So we were able to string one there as well. We also had Houston Christian as our winner on the added board. So I thought that was pretty good day. All right, let's see who else. Joe W is here in the chat. Good morning. Sir Mackey is my man, and he's here today. Good to see Sir Mackey in there. Also, let's see who else. We got Sancho bringing the big bag here. And let's see here. Who else is joining us? Good conversation in the chat. Everybody talking about me pretty much here. I've had that rough week, but I think we're on a little bit of a roll again here right now. Chip Plylar, great to have Chip in the chat. He said Auburn here. What about that game last night with Auburn, right? With Auburn rolling Georgia State. Couldn't believe that you could have a game with a 39.5-point spread end up on, I don't know if it ended up on bad beats or not, but if it wasn't, it could have been, right? How are you going to get beat when you're getting 39.5 and basically you have the cover, and it came down by that. So that was a pretty funny one there yesterday. We have a bad beat on a 39.5-point spread, but that's what we had. Good morning to Elliot. He just missed a 14. Poor Elliot, look, he just missed a 14-team parlay with Memphis. He could have won by 8,000. Imagine if he didn't put that game in, he had a 13 game parlay and he would have won, 3,500 or whatever if he just would have left that last game off. I don't know what the lines were, so I'm just estimating, I guess. But imagine the frustration. Elliott has 13-1. I mean, I should be getting Elliott's picks here. Robert McCormick here as well. Nasty Nate says Notre Dame just smash. I think is he talking about that football game, or is he talking about? I think I'm trying to get today's schedule together. Oh, there's been some steam rolling in here too. Let me get to that real quick. Santa Barbara, Loyola Marymount taking some steam here right now. Bottom game of the main board. Total moving to the over here at Santa Barbara and LMU. That's interesting. I mean, we've seen some unders from these teams, I think. Was 141, now down to was 140, now up to 141.5, I believe, here with Santa Barbara and Loyola Marymount game total moving to the over. Also, LMU took the steam as well right before that. So maybe there's some personnel information we'll have to look into there. But LMU here, not always the case on these smaller games, just could be getting hit by the Sharps. But LMU was a 2, now 2.5 or 3 right now in that game against Santa Barbara. Some steam coming in there. Also, Portland State and Pacific, couple games up. Here, total moving to the over here with Portland State and Pacific. We're seeing steam to the over here was 146. Call it 147 right now with Portland State and Pacific. Also, Utah Valley taking some steam here in their game against Idaho State. It was Idaho State 1.5. And, they've had some success this year for sure. And Utah Valley, maybe they've had some struggles, but the steam came in on Utah Valley here. And I think it's about a pick 'em right now. Just moments ago, steam came in on Davidson. You probably heard it just moments ago with Davidson. They were 2.5. Call it 1.5 right now. Davidson at Temple. Davidson taking some steam here on the show. This is our college basketball coverage of this big board for sure here. Northern Illinois and Illinois State seeing some steam here right now. To the over was 143. Call it 144, 144.5. Steam to the over. Northern Illinois and Illinois State. All right, I think one more here, please. Youngstown State and Wright State. Steam to the under here. Two teams that have had a few unders so far. 146. Looks like it's turning into 145 here right now. It looks like something I might be able to get behind here with those trends, too, with Youngstown State and Wright State. All right, let's say hello also to Cliff Floyd here today. He had a rough day. Well, I don't want that. I'm coming off a pretty good day, it feels like here. Nuke, hello. Good morning to Nuke. And truth I don't bet no Ivy League football. I mean, come on. I do. I love I think they're about as pure as it gets. Going to the playoff, I don't know if it's so pure anymore. How about Super True, ready to roll? And look at Robert McCormick said he ended up taking that Mr. Cordia game yesterday. Sancho says his play of the day is the Canucks, and I've got a little more steam rolling in right behind here. Elon +4 here right now in their game against East Tennessee. Elon taking the money. They've had a few covers, I'm pretty sure, at East Tennessee State. Maybe I think they're definitely below 500 against the spread. So a move here on Elon was +4, probably 3.5 or 3 right now. Steam coming in there on Elon. All right, let's see what else. And Sir Mackey having a good morning here. And Irish King, hello. Great to see you. And Teller, he's the truth teller, I'm the truth seller. That's our slogan. Truth Teller and I, we're going to have our own service here. Let's see here. You were at Super True. You got me on that one, man. I like I said, there's no doubt DePaul looks a little better this season, but not up against St. John. You called it there on that one. And I had the chat buying into what I was saying, it felt like. Elliot says, how about ECU yesterday? Ramon, how about the Pirates there yesterday, he says. And let's see here. We know that what happened in that one? I mean, I know they rocked Florida International and got that money for sure yesterday. They were laying 8. It was funny because that one he got all the way up to 9.5 and then was bought back there. Florida International. Sports money is money. How about Justin? He's got the sports money gear has his slogan on it. How about that? Also here, AOD is here today representing the Sports Money Network. And Jermaine here as well. Truth telling, we both don't have any friends. Dave's my friend. I mean, in general, Dave, I'm not going to walk out tomorrow. Friends are overrated, says Sir Mackey, the man with virtual threesomes. All right, let's see who else is in the chat because maybe we only have a few comments and we're ready to start the show or so. All right. Let's see here. See, Dave's willing to leave me right now. And he's my best friend. He's about ready to leave the show. All right, here we go. Rich Stubbs, hello. It says, when you got Darvin Ham coaching, you're probably going to win the NBA Cup. And now we learned yesterday the All-Star game will also become a tournament. The All-Star weekend will become a tournament, at least with the All-Star portion of it. Kenny, Shaq, and Charles will draft their own teams. They'll have 4 teams. Another team will come through with the Rising Stars game, and that team will advance. And then they'll play a set of games to 40 points. They'll play 2 semifinal type of games, and then they'll play a finals game, I think, to 40 points. And that's going to be the All-Star game format. I don't know if I like that, but we'll probably find a way to bet on it. All right. Who else here? Rich Stubbs, he's coming in, I think, with I think this is his action here on today's card with the Michigan-Oklahoma game possibly there. Michigan money line and over, and then Alabama and their game against North Dakota. And Super True said Seton Hall game went way over. And Elliot says Commanders are they going to find a new stadium? Are they going to get another new stadium already? Or all right, see who else we got in the chat. I don't want to spend too much time just staring at it, but Robert there, good day. Gave some up and down a little bit. Pierce the weather here today. Who's Gonzo? Gonzo is one of our cappers on the crew here a little bit. And he had some plays yesterday, I believe, as well on the community tab. Make sure you're always checking the community tab here on YouTube with our channel because we put in some plays in there from some of our crew every day. Curtis is here as well. And is that it? That might be it from everyone here. And I think we can get rolling a little bit with the show. We got to do the commercial here, everybody, especially with the Truth Teller here. Youngstown State over. And I think that's it. Nate Dogg here as well. Thank you, everybody. And Jermaine Wright, NBA. They're grasping at straws. Everyone telling me what the NBA is doing wrong, why no one's watching. I'm still watching, but I'm a little bit, I don't know any better, and without any friends, I'm just looking for sports. So I watch the NBA anyways, I guess. All right. I think that's it. All right, let me go over to my commercial a little bit. Let me plug your ears here, Truth Teller. But I'm going to talk about my picks because, after all, I think I've almost cleaned up that mess from Sunday here this week with that 12-6 day yesterday. I gave a push on that Memphis West Virginia game. Some people actually may have won the game that had my pick, but I better at least be fair to some people who might have ended up laying 6 points with a loss there, actually, right, with Memphis. Some may have pushed, I guess is what I mean to say. Some may have actually won at -4.5 at minus money a little bit, but Memphis looked like much the best, but they did not get the cover in that game. So you may have had a better record than I did yesterday. You may have finished the same as me. You may have actually had a game less, but depending on the line, still, we did give out the over here on the show with Memphis and West Virginia, kind of pretty much the way we just described it, didn't we, yesterday? Talking about the two teams that have definitely produced a lot of overs there with Memphis and West Virginia. And even after the slow start, it went easily over in the Frisco Bowl last night. So, hey, check me out over at winnable.com. This is where you're going to get those quote unquote top tier plays from me, my best plays over at winnable.com. I'm going to talk about the games here and hopefully give you a free winner on my second best play side or total on some of the games. Some of the games, they are the best pick over there. Some of the time it's the best pick over here. I don't always have it every game over there. I mean, on a game today, right, we're not going to go over 50 games. I'm just kidding about previewing 50 college basketball games. But I'm going to have some great picks for sure. And you can get them over at winnable.com for just $20 a month. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%, and that'll make those plays 50 cents per day. But really, why I've come over here to the Sports Money Network and doing business like this, I used to be on a channel that had 45,000 subscribers. And I would sell my picks for $25, $35, $45 a day. Now that was good business, but now I'm selling for about 50 cents a day over here at winnable.com, and I get to be on Mikey Money's channel, our channel, Sports Money Network here. Yeah, I make appearances on some other channels, but this is home for me. You see my new shirt. Mikey sent me some shirts. I'm part of the team, and really, it was a great decision. So you could support me by clicking the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. This is how you support me here on the channel. I promise you, I'm not on Mikey's payroll just yet. We're working on that, man. We're going to take this thing to the top. But until then, to support me here on the channel, keep coming back, doing a show here for a couple hours a day as my job. Check me out. This is the way to check me out, support me. Even if you just get a one-day pass for $4 or a one-week pass for $8, use the promo code. It'll be even less than that. And again, this is how you support me from here. What Truth Teller says, if you were so good, why not just play the games? Like I said, wouldn't have any friends. Not only that, I have to play a lot of games, and the way I bet them, I'm not betting $200, $300, $400, $500 on my games. I'm betting, a fraction of that because I bet so many games, and I have to hit my percentage. It takes every ounce of my being just to make a couple $100 a day, like a regular job in betting. So I do look for your support here to keep on coming back and spend a couple of hours with you every day here. So there's also there at that Winnable app.
Steam Play.
Oh, we got some more Steam coming in. On the Winnable app, there is a free subscription as well for all you freebies out there. I'll show it to you here, but you go over to winnable.com and my little homepage comes up. You'll know you're in the right place when it kind of looks like this. And see if I got it right here with my friends. All right, there we go. And it kind of looks like that. And there's a little pay thing right there. You might be familiar with some of the other things you might purchase on an Apple store or a Google store. And you can go right here to the free subscription, $0 purchase. And if you purchase any of my packages, you get my phone number like the trolls did. And they were calling me during the show and telling me what a shitty day I had on Sunday. But, well, we got it pretty much back here over the last couple of days. Here, and we're going to do it again today. So check me out over at winnable.com, and I do appreciate you. All right, more Steam coming in, and we'll get ready to go with the show. We're going to start with the bowl games, and we'll go NHL, college basketball, and we're going to be out of here in, 45 minutes from now. Santa Clara is taking some steam here right now in their game against Kennesaw tonight. Santa Clara was a 14-point favorite. They're now up to 14.5 or 15 here. Santa Clara at home against Kennesaw, taking some steam here. How about North Dakota taking some steam here right now in their matchup with Alabama? We already saw, with all due respect, I don't know if I have it. Someone mentioned Alabama in the chat, but North Dakota is taking the steam here down to 24.5. It looks like right now from that 25.5 there, North Dakota taking the steam. Also, Northern Kentucky took some steam here in their game against Detroit. Northern Kentucky hasn't exactly been a great cover, I don't think, so far. This was down to 11 or 11.5 here. The steam here is on, the steam is on Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, up to 12.5 or 13 here. Should be right now, yes. Northern Kentucky took the steam. All right, we saw that quarterback news come out yesterday. I'm sure everyone saw. You got Michael Penix taking over in Atlanta. Got to be real suspect of that move, quite frankly, at this late in the season. If Penix was really ready to go, why wouldn't he have been in there a little bit sooner? We've seen now, granted, put him in there against the Giants, see how it goes. Maybe we could still get the win with Penix in there, and if he's just good enough, maybe we can go back to Cousins or whatever. But you're in the heat of a division race, and you're moving to your rookie quarterback right now. I get it. We saw the interview with Cousins. He looked sheepish there with his performance, and they were playing some tough teams, but the last one wasn't so tough. So Atlanta makes the move. Cleveland also another suspect move. Look, you got Jameis Winston. You don't have any better than Jameis Winston here right now. And if you think DTR is going to come in and, maybe you can play for the future. You don't have much going on in Cleveland, but we'll see DTR over Jameis here right now. So good luck with you. Good luck to you with that. Look, I love DTR, but all right, more comments are rolling in, so we'll see what's going on here, and then maybe we'll get ready for the show. I like having a little conversation here a little bit with the gang, including Nunya here this morning. Hello to Nunya. And also, that might be it, though, here. And there, Elliot talking about game there with ECU again. Justin's ready to go. I mean, he's our Falcon, he's he is our Falcons correspondent. He's ready to go with that big Penix energy. Utah's taking some steam here right now in their game against Vancouver. We know Vancouver has been money on the road so far, and Utah's been a loser at home so far, but could today be the day? Utah taking the steam here right now in their game against Vancouver tonight. So the Sharps coming in here on Utah, sounds like. All right. Let's take a look here right now. I think that's it. All right. Let's get ready and start the show here with our bowl games at 5:30 Eastern and 2:30 Pacific today with Western Kentucky taking on James Madison here in this one. James Madison coming in here, 7.5, 7-point favorite, I guess, right now. Madison comes in 8-4. Western Kentucky comes in 8-5. Western Kentucky, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 down the stretch here in conference play after a hot start, maybe against a softer schedule to open up before conference play. But right now they've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. They've been not able to stop the running game of anybody here, it seems like right now. Western Kentucky was 3-3 as an underdog against the spread so far this season. But in bowl games, usually Western Kentucky brings it, man. They've won their last 3 bowls and averaged 45 points per game in those bowl games. They know how to play here in the postseason for sure. For Madison, they played in their first ever bowl game last season, losing to Air Force 31-21 is a 1-point dog. So Madison this year 3-2 against the spread when laying single digits. This season, they've gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. This has always been a bowl game for the underdogs. It seems like when you're talking about this Boca Raton Bowl, it might have had a different name in a couple of those years, but I think last year was called the Boca Raton Bowl. And not only that, Western Kentucky's been to this bowl game before and won it. They did it 3 years ago. They did it 8 years ago. They've enjoyed this venue, to say the least. Underdogs 4-1 against the spread last 5 years in this bowl game. So let's see what you guys going to do here. Madison, they certainly have an impressive quarterback, but let's see what you guys want to do here. 2 teams with decent records here for sure. We know that their quarterback's out. I just mean he had a pretty impressive season with Barnett. What is his name? Talk about being prepared, right? Oh, just I know every player on every team. I can't be bothered with prepping it out. Let me get it here though. Make sure I'm talking about the right thing. So let's see. So Atkins will be in there, though, for Barrett, for Barnett, whatever his name was, making the start here. So that's definitely got a bit of a caution. And, yeah, for Veltkamp, he definitely struggled in that game against Jacksonville State. So we'll see. He's had some okay performances during the regular season here. But James Madison, pretty good defense for sure. I think that's where they'll try to hang their hat on in this one. You see that total right now. I'm showing it at all the way down to 50 here right now. There's definitely been a move here within the last hour or two. It feels like maybe within the last few minutes, actually. Kind of want to take a look at this move down to 50 here right now. Let me update that. There you go. So move here to the under in this one. I don't know. I kind of thought these two could still get loose a little bit in this game. So let's see what you guys have. Set me straight here on this one with Western Kentucky and James Madison here tonight. Started off with, I think, Nuke is first with us. He likes JMU by double digits. He says WKU's unloaded. All these guys are leaving here right now. And, we've seen this spread move from as low as, 3 or 3.5, right? On the openers, it feels like. Justin, though, says Western Kentucky's his play there, plus those points. Thomas likes the under here in this one. Truth Teller, let's see. He says maybe take the points. He doesn't feel comfortable with it, though. And Elliott says got a 10-point game. He definitely likes the under here as well. I think when you look at these teams, the perception might be under here. JMU's definitely had some unders this season. They are 3-8 to the under as a favorite. Dave likes the under here. Robert likes James Madison. And Super True talking about those players out for Western Kentucky for sure. And Dave says, they were going down. They had been going downhill here down the stretch a little bit with those losses. Trying to sell a little bit of Western Kentucky, that their history here, but there it is. Thomas is saying, I don't know, should I call 911 or are you just joking because we're going with James Madison here, Thomas? Let me know. If I ever, fall over on this screen, you guys got to call the authorities. All right, Elliott says, got 4 out of 5 tickets here and 85% of the money on JMU. Boy, I like to be contrarian when I see that. But, hey, we're already set on James Madison as our consensus play here in this one. So I'll roll with the consensus here. I think I'm just going to tag along. I think that's going to be a new, since I make too many picks here. I'm not necessarily saying I'm on Western Kentucky. I'm just going to go and roll with the chat here. I kind of still respect that Western Kentucky's fared well. This is kind of their bowl game a little bit. I'm talking about this particular venue. They've come here before, had bowl success. I agree with everything you guys said about what's going on with the portal. And in other news, right, I think we're finally starting to see some commentary that maybe has long been overdue, that why are we doing the portal in the middle of December? Why isn't it in January? Why isn't it after the season? That makes no sense. We've been dealing with this problem for a decade now with players opting out. And there's really no reason. I'm sure that these kids would like to have one more opportunity on the field. I don't think they're doing it because, hey, I want to save I don't want to get a knee injury or something. You got to declare, you got to enter the portal or whatever. So it really feels like we've made a mistake here with the timing of this. Give the kids a chance. You only look in football, right? Because not think about how many don't make it to the pros, right? So you only play if you go through, right? Maybe a decent high school career and maybe a decent college career. You might only play 50, 60, 70 games in your life. That's a lot, actually. There are probably more athletes that don't play even that many. So you always want to get that. Um, every experience you can. That's why it's so important. We think of it as just another game, right? Even when you're thinking about the smallest bowls or even the smallest schools, that is their moment. The next game is your moment. See, James says, when do my premiums go out? Usually between 30 minutes and 2 hours before the main bulk of the schedule. I think is most of the timing here. On Fridays, I may send out an advance card for a big college basketball card or something like that. But if you're a subscriber, you could set the notifications. And on a day like today, I would imagine 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, maybe a little earlier if we tackle this college football game. Obviously, I've saved the total here. You might have caught my description of the game a little bit. You might know what I'm on. I don't mind that. Thank you, C. James. Great supporter there. Nuke says the portal does kill the bowl season. It'll be worse next year, Jermaine says. But, maybe we can still fix that. Maybe we have time to fix it. Maybe not by next year, but all right. Oh, that's so man, Truth Teller. That's cool that we share this. We pretty much share the same name in just a different language, pretty much. And I don't care when someone says Ramon, my name, or Raymond. I don't mind that because I'm like, this person just is saying it in English. All right. That's right. Yeah, well, Thomas, no, just moving the date though. Just moving the date for the portal kids to late January. We can work it out here. These are paid professionals. All right. Consensus is on Madison, so I'll roll with Madison here. I caution laying these points here. We saw last night, right, a team that maybe looked a little bit beat up on their personnel come back and get the cover. And Western Kentucky sure does have bowl experience, man. We've seen time and time again the Hilltoppers in the postseason, not just at this bowl, right? I mean, they've had some wild games, and James Madison, just their second bowl game ever. All right. But I'll roll with the chat because, man, I want to win this parlay for somebody. Okay, we're going out now to the whatever it's called bowl in Los Angeles this year, the LA Bowl here with Cal taking on UNLV. We know who's playing. Cal and UNLV. here with UNLV, a 3-point favorite because we've seen Cal. We know Mendoza going to be moving on. Talk about the portal here. You got our man, Fernando Mendoza. He comes in here in the chat, gives us a bunch of free plays. We expect him to play quarterback, and then he says he's entering the portal too. So shout out Fernando. Our Fernando's better than their Fernando for sure. But UNLV here, they did take the steam here in this one, but mostly based on, I think, that news. Look, it's easy to say like Cal was a 3-point favorite, and now UNLV is a 3-point favorite. What gives with Mendoza and the move here a little bit in this matchup here with Cal. So let's take a look at it. I think when you look at these two, got some numbers here we can rattle off right now with Cal 15. Let's see, 3. I got some spread figures on them here. You get to my notes. Here we go. Cal 3-2 as an underdog here so far this season. UNLV 4-4 is a favorite against the spread. So I don't know if there's anything too much there necessarily, but I think the move here clearly on UNLV, and I'm showing handicappers pretty much heavy here on UNLV. It's almost probably 10-1 here. I'll just maybe I can round it down to 90%, but man, it just seems like a solid play by many a handicapper out there taking UNLV, laying these points here. Yeah, UNLV has their own issues, right, with their coach leaving for Purdue, but they got a pretty good program here coming in. Kind of talk about the coach leaves and then some of the players want to hit the portal, but you look at what West Virginia did. They were able to hang in there in that game last night. Why wouldn't you stick around to be under Coach Rodriguez? And now here, they got a pretty good coach coming in here as well next year. Now it's next year. So the promotion, though, of the coordinator here looks pretty decent for UNLV. They've had just a magical season, really, despite the disappointment of the game in Boise. This is a reward for UNLV. Maybe it is for Cal too, but still coming in from the ACC here and now taking on a lower opponent here in the Mountain West. So UNLV won 4 out of their last 5, despite that loss to Boise. Lost that game 21-7 and couldn't get it together. But UNLV here 5-3 against the spread when the spread is single digits. They've gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. Cal played UNLV 2 years ago. Cal won the game 20-14, but that was before Odom was the coach of UNLV, and Cal was actually a 12-point favorite in that game and didn't get the money. So favorites are 2-1 in this LA Bowl. It's only the 4th LA Bowl here, but Mountain West has won 2 of the 3 LA Bowls, and the Pac-12. We know that Cal's in the ACC, but the Pac-12 is a representative of this game. We're still seeing that caliber of team. They went 1-2 in this bowl game so far. So see if you guys have anything. I know you do in this one for sure here with UNLV and Cal. And maybe it'll be a consensus here again. I don't know. Let's see here. I'm going to start with Elliot with our numbers here. He says 4 out of every 5 tickets here are on the money or on the money line on UNLV to win a money line. 4 out of 5 money line tickets here on UNLV. $1.50 or lower here, probably, obviously. And under here is talk here. Justin says he likes the under. Thomas likes UNLV. And Dave likes the under in this one. Thank you to Elliot today. And he's going to get a haircut. I'm right behind you. All right. Lorenzo here celebrating that Bucks win today. Hello to Lorenzo. Robert likes UNLV here as well. So pretty popular pick here with UNLV so far. All right. And I'll take the under here as my pick with UNLV and Cal. All right. Yeah, man, I thought we'd have a little bit more picks in that one with this game, but maybe it's a late game for you here with the start time at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific here with Cal and UNLV. Yeah, oh yeah, and it says fixture total there, Ramon. Yeah, I kind of like it as a premium, but I think I like the side better. So just give out the under here. Man, we're losing steam on this one big time here, down to 46.5. All right. Well, I said we'd be out of here by the bottom of the next hour, so we better hurry up here and get to the NHL tonight. There's no NBA tonight. They got to take a day off here to regroup after the NBA Cup. So resume tomorrow night with huge action, actually. A big card. Play. All right, some steam coming in here, though, real quick on some college basketball before we get started here on this NHL slate. Stonehill and UMass Lowell taking some steam here right now. We're seeing the total move here to 149 or so. It was 150, but steam coming in with Stonehill and Lowell. Also, big one here. One of our previewed games for sure with Xavier and Connecticut. Steam coming in on the over here with Xavier and Connecticut. We've seen some unders here, I think, with these two teams. I have the numbers, and I'll talk about it when we get there. One of the better games of the day here. Steam to the over here was 146, now 147. Xavier and Connecticut. Also, the steam did come in earlier on Connecticut in that game. All right, let's go to the hockey here right now with the Flyers taking on the Red Wings. And you've got Urson here in net going up against Lyon in this one, with the Red Wings a slight favorite here in this one against the Flyers. Flyers have actually been okay on the road so far, it feels like. And the Red Wings, they've definitely had their ups and downs. No doubt about it here. Let me get to the goalies here today, see if we have anything confirmed with these guys. Not just yet. Could be Husso in there, but I've got Lyon, I think, penciled in here from right now on my charts here. So take a look. We'll see. I don't know if we can, like I said, no confirmation yet, but for Urson, he's 6-4-2 with a 2.87 goals against average and an 89% save percentage. The Red Wings won their last game out, a 4-2 win over Toronto. Meanwhile, Philadelphia coming off a 4-1 loss in their game against Minnesota. Coming into this one for Philadelphia, they've covered the puck line in 7 of their last 8 road games, most of them as underdogs here, certainly, but got to lay $2. More than $2 here to grab that puck and a half with the Flyers here today. 6 out of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Detroit's covered 5 straight puck lines at home, but they are favored here. They've also covered 11 out of their last 12 puck lines, most of them as underdogs, however. Detroit is 0-4 against the spread as a puck line favorite. So not much margin for error here, it feels like, in this one. And I'm going to actually grab the Flyers here as my pick on the road over Detroit today. I'm going to take Philly to win this one over the Red Wings. See if you guys have anything here. Mercer's taking a little steam real quick here, if I may, in their game against Queens College. It was Queens by 1.5, but looks like we're going to have a pick 'em here at least with Mercer and Queens. All right, see if we got anything here in hockey tonight. You got Robert McCormick here going under in this one. Also here, Nate Dogg's got he's got Philadelphia with me, and got some props there as well. And want to say hello and thank you to Randall Sheffield. Thank you for all of your support, my friend, and thank you for stopping in today. Great to have you. Hope everything's doing great. Textile says, stay fly. I'm doing the best I can. I mean, it's harder. The older you get, the less fly you are, I think. But, Jermaine says he would like to play Lemoyne here, maybe against Dartmouth as an underdog. All right. That's it. I'll take the Flyers in that one. Next up, you got the Leafs.
Team play.
Taking on the Stars here right now. The Stars, $1.35 or so. Here, the Leafs haven't been too great on the road, but they have won the last 5 times they've faced the Stars here. They've actually won the last 5 trips here into Dallas. So that certainly is something to consider here. Now, Dallas has won 6 of their last 7 games at home, so they've been hot here as well. They've won 2 straight here right now, including home victories over Washington and St. Louis. This one certainly poses as just as tough of a challenge as that Washington game, even though Washington may be a little bit better record-wise. Toronto pretty good still here, but they're not perfect on the road. We know that. Right now, they're just 5-6 on the road. Meanwhile, Dallas 13-3 at home. But man, Toronto does so well in this series. Could they do it again? Dallas has gone under in 7 of their last 8 games. The steam came in on the under here. We're already starting to deal with 5.5s across the board right now. But look, these two teams have combined to go 21-34 to the under so far this season. Dallas is 7-14-3 to the under as a favorite, 5-10-1 to the under at home. I will say Toronto is 7-4. They're definitely an under team, but they are 7-4-2 to the over on the road. So I'm going to take the Toronto Maple Leafs here to get the upset over Dallas today. I like that. The season series here, they only meet twice a year, but Toronto's been beating Dallas here a little bit, and there's nothing wrong necessarily here with Toronto right now. These teams have similar records or almost identical records right now. See what you guys do in this one while I report one more steam play that just came in on Long Island. Long Island here against St. Mary's today. They were getting 1.5, but it's down to a pick'em or so here right now. Long Island taking the steam against Mount St. Mary's here today. Long Island getting the steam against Mount St. Mary's. In the chat, what are we going with here? Want to say thank you to Flea. Really want to say thank you to Flea here. Really appreciate you, man. What a guy here. Sports Money's here in the chat. How about that? Thank you, sir, for stopping by this morning. And let's see what else here. Nate says, Nate, great plays here today. Thank you, Nate. You're coming through big time here. Toronto on the money line with me. I'm not saying it because of that, but like these with the props here, Nate. Could use you here every day doing some of this. And I know you're busy, but we do appreciate you. All right, and it looks like Truth Teller might be with me on Toronto here. I'm not sure, but Robert is on Toronto here. Dre does lean Dallas, but he likes the under for sure. You know, that steam came in on the under, and I'm probably going to be hitting this one under here tonight, it feels like. Dre's on Dallas in this one. Can't argue with that. You know, I mean, I can argue with it here, but I know where, you know, they've been great at home, no doubt about it. And Super True says, how about the early games? Don't forget, we got these games about to pop off here in just a few minutes with Albany and Sacred Heart. I'm probably off these games for the premiums. I've made a few bets, but appreciate you guys talking about them. Albany taking on Sacred Heart by 3. Let's see if I can do something for the crew there. I'll look at them real quick. Well, maybe we can wait. We got 45 minutes, so we're not going to be here all night. All right. But thank you, Super True. Yeah, maybe we should have focused a little bit on that. You know what? Great call. Panthers and the Wild here in this one. I've got Bobrovsky going up against Fleury with the Panthers here, a road favorite, $1.35. 5.5 over at minus 120. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Minnesota's a solid under right now at home, having gone under in 8 of their last 9, and the Panthers have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. However, they did go over in that win against Edmonton, that wild win, 6-5 a couple of nights ago. They had a strong stream of unders, but when you're facing Edmonton, anything's possible, I guess. Man, the Oilers are hot right now, looking good. For Minnesota, they're off a 3-2 loss to Vegas last time out. Here, the series, like I said, it does point to the over a little bit, man, but these teams, it does feel like now all of a sudden, especially Minnesota at home, 3-10-1 to the under. Florida has a bunch of overs, no doubt about it, but might be a different type of contest here. It feels like today in this one with Florida starting to have some unders here. Like I said, 4 out of the last 5 until that last game against Edmonton had gone under. So Florida, they're slightly profitable on the road. Minnesota, they're actually a little bit in the red at home so far, but they're the dog here in this one. So let's see if you guys are going to play this one. And I'll wait. Every time we get to go to the chat, here comes a Steam playing basketball. This one is Bethune-Cookman in South Florida. We're seeing some steam here on this one to the over at, oh man, this was 145.5, and now this one's all the way up to 147.5 here right now with Bethune-Cookman and South Florida. Big move here to the over in that one. All right, let's see what we got here. If we have Florida and Minnesota. Thank you, Jermaine. He's got the Austin P. Ohio game to go under. And Super True, he likes Maine in there. Is that what he's saying? Maine today? Is that right? Let me see here. You might be saying Maine. Thanks, Maine. Sancho with the Panthers here. Joe T likes the over here in this one. Let me write that down. I'm going to write down Joe right there likes the over. And let's see here. Minnesota says Minnesota has some injuries coming in. Robert likes the Panthers here in this one. And yeah, Jermaine, you know what? We're going to do about 7 or 8 of them here in just a moment. I know I said we'd be out of here by now, but you know how it goes. But yeah, just the best games. I'm just doing and maybe I'll come up with something on these early games. I have made a few bets, but we're doing the big TV games today with this huge card. There's some nice ones. Philly Eagle Flyer says Canucks and Jets moneyline parlay. Robert says that you look at the Wild and at home as a dog, just 4-6 so far this season. Cash Game though does like Minnesota in this spot, and Joe T says Fleury going to be in there because maybe Gustafson is hurt at this time. So at least you got a good veteran. It feels like, right, in Fleury, but you don't want him to be using him for too long, it feels like. All right, Jermaine likes Bethune today. All right. Well, hey, look, if Joe likes the over in this one, I'm going to go with Joe. Give me the over here with Minnesota and Florida as my play. All right, Joe. And also, did I shout out Flea for the sticker today? Thank you, Flea. I think I did, but I just love it. All right. Next up, I'm also watching right now. I don't know if it just ended right now. Action here with Alex Mitchelson winning here at the Next Gen ATP Finals. A very interesting format where they play the sets only up to 4 games. They play 5 setters. First 1 to 4 wins or a tiebreaker at 4. The scores here were 4-2, 3-4, 3-4, 4-2. No, let me say it right. 2-4, 4-3, 4-3, 4-2. So interesting format there at that event here, the Next Gen Finals. All right, next up here, the Canucks taking on Utah with Thatcher Demko and Vejmelka here in this one. You've got Utah here, a -15 favorite, and 5.5 over at -120. Could see a little bit of a move here on Utah, maybe up to -1.15 or so. We know Vancouver, how good they've been on the road this year, right? I mean, just incredible, really. All their damage on the road, and at home, they're a losing proposition. On the road, they're going to get you about a third of a unit per game this season with their 10-2 road record. Meanwhile, Utah's just 4-5 at home, but they are 6-2 in their last 10 games overall. And Vancouver, they are a dog here. They're 4-7 as an underdog. So some of the times they've been favored pretty much on those road games, right? As we've kind of realize that this team's pretty good, 16-9-5. Utah's done a nice job, man. 14-11-5. Think about that. Because if you put that record on the Arizona Coyotes over the last couple of seasons, you'd never believe it. So maybe there is something to having a little bit of support, playing in a big arena. And they've, made some positive moves here. But for these two teams, you got Utah here, 7-2-2 to the over as a favorite. The steam did come in on the under here, but I think that's only giving me a little bit of value. With the 5.5s out there, I'm going to end up going over in this game with Vancouver and Utah. I'm going to go over 5.5. Look, Vancouver's gone 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. And like I said, Utah, when favored, has been going over. So Utah has covered the puck line in 5 straight meetings against Vancouver, and also 5 straight meetings at home against Vancouver. At home, meaning I think in Arizona. I don't think they've met yet this season, no, but nonetheless, that could be a disqualifier. Utah is giving away 0.3 of a unit at home so far this season. So Vancouver has won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two, 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. All right, see if anybody has anything here in this one. Sancho, this is the first action in a while, and I couldn't come up with a card because I think they played this format before, or they try, have used this format at this event, but I want to see some scores from it for sure. Sancho here with the Canucks, Irish King with the Canucks, Nate Dogg with the Canucks here. We might have our first play here, it feels like. James Madison was our first play, but Super True says jump on Georgia Tech here. Robert says Utah and under. And Dre says the Canucks. But I'm on the over here in this one at 5.5. Texas on Vancouver here as well. So pretty popular play here. Vancouver in this one may earn your consensus here. I don't know if there was. Robert said Utah. I guess there was one Utah there at least. All right. And I got one last one here for you to take a look at with the Jets taking on the Ducks. Here, the Jets, big favorite, of course, here at $1.90. The total here is at 6. In this one, you have Winnipeg. They've won 5 straight meetings here against Anaheim. They've also won 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Anaheim overall. So it's been a pretty dominant series for the Jets, but Anaheim keeps covering these puck lines, 13 of the last 16. Now it will cost you here to get on Anaheim's puck line here today at +1.5 at minus 160. That's actually not awful, but Anaheim did snap their losing streak last time out with a win on the road at Columbus. We had Anaheim in that game at Columbus, and Well, this one might be a little bit tougher here against the Winnipeg team coming in off of a couple of easy wins here, at least opponents wise, with San Jose and Montreal. They did lose to Vegas before that, but Winnipeg 21-4 as a favorite, Anaheim 9-17 as an underdog, but Anaheim 18-8 as a puck line dog here. And well, if it's only minus $1.65, it actually wouldn't be a terrible price. Winnipeg has covered 14 of 25 as a puck line favorite here, but I don't know if they can get this one by 2. Let's see what you guys want to do in the chat in this one. Two teams definitely producing a lot of unders here, particularly Anaheim. They're 9-18-2 to the under. They've gone under in 9 of their last 10 games right now. And they're 9-15-2 to the under as an underdog. All right. Thomas wasn't sure about that one. So I think we had one on Utah. So I don't know. I wasn't sure about it. Well, since we're going to the chat here on the basketball game, and no doubt we have a play here, a steam play in basketball with Murray State and Indiana State. I'm seeing this one steamed here to the under right now with Murray State and Indiana State. This one was 155, but it's now 154 between these two. They'd already steamed Indiana State here, taken the points against Murray State, and now they've steamed the under. They've steamed Indiana State and the under. Okay, here we go. There we go. Thank you, gang. Here we go. Cash Kane says you got a first place team against a last place team. Nate says he's leaning to the Bears in that bowl game. Oh, right. Here's Robert on the Ducks. He likes the under here as well. He likes the Ducks on the money line. How about that? I don't mind. I'd probably take the puck line here at this price. Let's see. They've been so good here. It feels like. I mean, they're bad, but they still seem to hang in there. So it's minus $1.65. I think that's the direction I'll go. I'll take Anaheim here on the puck line. At least got Robert's support. He likes them outright to upset the Jets tonight. Sounds good, but man, this feels like it's going to be 2-1 or 3-1, doesn't it? All right, let's get to that basketball here. It feels like, and maybe take a peek at those early games too. And you guys are asking about them. A half hour to go here. I'll at least mention all 3 of these morning games so you guys can have some enjoyment here. And Albany's taking on Sacred Heart. I don't have any graphics because I didn't think about previewing them, but you guys always like to know about the early games and what we can be on here, it feels like. So with Albany and Sacred Heart, you got Sacred Heart here favored in this one by 3.5, and the total at 155 in this one. And we've seen a couple of overs here, I think, with these two teams so far this season. In fact, it's Albany 5-1 to the over on the road so far, but Seton Hall is 0-3 at home to the under so far this season. So I don't know, that one seems a little bit tough. I'd probably be apt to take the points here with Albany. They're awful though on the road, man. 1-5 against the spread here, but man, this one figures to be close, I would think. Seton Hall is 3-0 against the spread at home. So man, that really does point to a better situation for Sacred Heart. Jeez, wow. I'm going to go under here in this one at 155. I don't want to mess with those trends here. I'm taking the under with Albany and Seton Hall. How about it? 155 here. Point move to the over. So, all right. You guys can make plays on this one if you want. Like I said, no graphic. If there's enough consensus, I'll put it in there. But you guys also were talking about Lemoyne taking on Dartmouth here. And For Dartmouth, they are a 5.5-point favorite here right now, and the total 148.5. Look, Dartmouth has lost 3 straight games all of a sudden, but they are 6-3 against the spread. Lemoyne is just 3-7 against the spread so far this season. Dartmouth is 2-0 to the over at home so far. It does feel like it might be an okay spot here for Dartmouth, actually. But let me get some other steam here real quick. Oh, Buffalo Bulls taking steam in college football here right now. I know I'm way off track here right now, but Buffalo is taking some steam here in their bowl game against Liberty. That one's on January 4th. We don't have time for that kind of steam right now. What else you got? Utah Valley and Idaho State game to go under. We're seeing some steam here right now with Utah Valley and Idaho State. This one was 138, but we're going to see a big move here, probably down to 130, maybe even down to 136 or lower here with Utah State and Idaho Valley. That one has caught my attention here big time.
System playing.
All right. Are you guys making comments here on these early games here? I don't know if I've got anything here in this one, actually, Lemoyne and Dartmouth. I kind of want to lay it here right now, but got that hook on there, 5.5. Lemoyne's had a light schedule so far, right there. Let's see. They are 4-8 straight up with that 3-7 spread right now, and Lemoyne coming off of a couple losses in a row. Like I said, Dartmouth has lost 3 in a row. Lemoyne lost to Binghamton. They lost to Army as well. They did defeat Manhattan. Dartmouth, meanwhile, despite those 3 losses in a row to Massachusetts Lowell, to Notre Dame, and to Illinois Chicago, they covered the spread in all those games. Now, granted, they were a big underdog there, and now they're laying it. I'll try Dartmouth here. That's a pretty good sign. Still got to lay the points, but I'll try Dartmouth. Let's see here. Maybe some comments here. True Teller says the Chargers are a trap here. They're trying to take the steam off the Broncos by making them the dog. I will say this. Does anybody think that, is it just me or is Nick Bonito the defensive player of the year? Crickets? I think Nick Bonito's the defensive player of the year. I mean, who else is playing better than Nick Bonito? I mean, is he overlooked? Is anybody talking about that? All right, let's see here. Dartmouth here, money line. Alvin's here. He says, what is the steam? In general, Alvin, or do you mean what's the steam in these early games? Because I don't think there's been any steam in the early games here. If that's what you mean. If you're wondering what the steam is, we can answer that as well. Nasty Nate, thank you very much there. All right. Dave says Surtain is or is he saying Surtain's out, by the way? We know that, right? Pretty sure Surtain's out. Okay. One more here. One more early start. Let me see. I was seeing if there is any steam on these early games, but I do not show. I don't think I show any on these early games. No. All right. There's one other early game. I'll just mention it here right now with Abilene Christian taking on East Texas A&M. You have Abilene Christian on the road. They're up to a 9.5-point favorite here. They were favored by 8. That seems a little bit egregious, but East Texas A&M has struggled here. Even a name change in the middle of the season hasn't helped them, as they are 1-10 here right now, and also 4-6-1 against the spread. Abilene Christian is 3-1 against the spread as a favorite. But man, this is getting a little bit lofty here. But they really should blow these guys here. It feels like out of the water. I'm not sure East Texas A&M is going to be able to score enough points here at all in this game. I'll take a little double play. Maybe I never tease anything here. Maybe Abilene Christian to the under here, a little teaser. I'll just take Abilene Christian, but I do prefer the under here in this game with the Abilene Christian and East Texas A&M. Abilene Christian has been a team that's going over this season. In fact, they're 5-1 to the over on the road, but they're 1-3 to the under as a favorite. So the fact that East Texas A&M is pretty strong under so far, and Abilene Christian, when favored, they really hold teams down. East Texas A&M is not very good. We know that they have also failed to cover in 4 straight games right now. Abilene Christian got blown out by Baylor last time out. Not worried about that. They beat up on New Mexico State and Omaha. So they've done pretty well against some okay teams. They also beat Southern Miss on the road. So Albany here, game total over. Dave does like Sertan over Nick Benito. I don't know, man. Nick Benito has been making plays all year, but maybe because of the, Sertan definitely, makes Denver's adjustments, makes Benito that much better, I guess, right? Thanks, Nate. Great job in the chat there. Joe T says he's got Northern Illinois. Let me look at these here. Let me write these. Are these in the I'll just write them down here from Joe. He's got Northern Illinois and Illinois State game going over. I think we had some steam on that one earlier too, right? So Joe chasing that steam a little bit there. And he's also has UCSB and Portland State chasing more steam there. But that total can't be it is 140.5. Great. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Joe chasing a little more steam there. Julian, thank you for your plays today. Memphis there. Davidson. And is that Utah or is that Texas Arlington there? I forget here. And 72 Impala here today as well. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go both. I'll go Abilene Christian, and I went with the under. I already bet the under, so better give out the under there with Abilene Christian and East Texas A&M. All right, let's get to the games now, the big games here that I have ready to preview. We'll go quickly here, just maybe give out the plays like I do, and I'll have plenty of plays today over on the Winnable app for sure with this college basketball card. We'll be going hot and heavy today. All right, here we go. First up, Creighton taking on Georgetown in this one. You got Creighton here on the road, favored by 3. Whatever Georgetown's, I want to give Coach Cooley all the credit in the world for trying to get this thing going here right now. Georgetown has looked a little better here of late. They beat Syracuse last time out. We had them in that game. Now, they lost to West Virginia, but they handled all those games so far against Baltimore County, Albany, Wagner. Now, they were big favorites in those games, but they did get the money. And Creighton just 2-6. Right now as a favorite against the spread. Georgetown is 0-2 as an underdog so far, but they're 7-1 at home so far this season. Creighton, strong, no doubt about it. They're looking great. I think they're going to be a very popular play today, but I want to go contrarian almost on these guys. It's just that, unfortunately, Creighton is 6-2 straight up as a favorite, and Georgetown is 0-2 as an underdog. So maybe it will be one more day of Creighton winning this one here. These two teams have gone under, especially Creighton here, 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. I'm going to take the under in this one as my pick with Creighton and Georgetown. I want to look further. I want to give Georgetown a chance in that game, but Creighton's going to be really popular at the window, and they're only favored by 3. So let's see if you have anything here in this one with It was UT Arlington, yeah. And Creighton here for Impala. Yeah, Creighton's going to be pretty popular, it feels like. I'll take the under in the game with Creighton and Georgetown. Next up is Xavier here taking on Connecticut in this one. Big number, of course, with Connecticut. Favored here by 13.5. The total's up to 147.5 based, as I said earlier, on that Steam. I said we were going to go up to 130, 147, 147.5 here in this one. The Steam also came in on Connecticut here, laying the big number against Xavier. Look, Connecticut's made a strong return here, covering numbers once again after those woes. They've covered 4 straight, laying numbers, taking numbers. Connecticut here all of a sudden pretty hot. Xavier has covered the last 2 games, including the cover against Cincinnati. We had them here. Remember, we had Xavier in that game. So, look, Connecticut's good, but Xavier's pretty decent here too. They're 8-3 right now, and I don't know, 13 points looks pretty good. But could Connecticut return to form here and get a blowout win over Xavier in this one? Look, there's been some unders with these two so far. Xavier 2-8-1 to the under so far this season. The Steam came in on the over here, but Xavier games are definitely lower scoring games here right now. If anybody in the chat does anything with this one. Xavier plus the points for Cash Kane. Matt's with me. I knew I could talk somebody into Benito. Robert, I think he was talking about the under in that Creighton Georgetown game there. And Tex says he's got this one penned at 143 for an under here as well with Xavier in Connecticut. And that's what I want to do. I'll take the under here with Xavier in Connecticut. I know they steamed it over. I got to respect that, but maybe it's created a little bit of a cushion here at 147.5. 72 Impala likes Connecticut to roll here. Memphis and Virginia. Here you got Memphis -5, and the total in this one at 131. Virginia, we've seen some ugly scores here already from Virginia. We know that, but maybe they're going to get some attention here against Memphis. I don't like the direction that Virginia is actually heading right now with the abrupt coaching change right before the season because of the abrupt retirement. So we'll see. You have Memphis here 5-1 against the spread on the road. Virginia 2-5 against the spread at home. 1-4 against the spread as an underdog. You gotta love everything what Memphis feels like they're doing here right now. Memphis 8-2 straight up. Virginia is 6-4 straight up, but 1-4 straight up as an underdog. Memphis has gone over in all 4 of their games as a favorite so far. Virginia goes under when they're a favorite, but they've had 3-2 to the over as a dog. Memphis is good, man. I've got Memphis to roll actually over Virginia here in this one. I like it as a premium here, but I'm not sure the Virginia games can be so tough on the total. I say tough. It feels like they are I'm kind of into the, Virginia, is it going to be an under or not theory? And I think I've got it down. Today's game, I don't know if I have it down. So I'm just going to take Memphis here to roll with Cash Kane. Okay, we got to finish this show. I don't think we're going to be able to. We might have to add that consensus play, make it a 2-teamer for somebody. So if I can, Thomas took off. So what game was it that you guys were so hot on? Vancouver, right? Even though I took Utah, that's why I was 3-2. We might not have a consensus. Well, I guess we got a 1-teamer, but
Steam play.
Here's Steam coming in Northridge and USC right now. Steam to the under in Cal State Northridge and USC. It was 151, but we're down to 150 here with Northridge and USC. Hello to Sharon in the chat. Next up is, we're almost done here with the show. Well, I got plenty more. San Francisco taking on Bradley in this one. I think this one, one of these games might not have the right, might not be even on ESPN Plus. Is it this one? Anyway, here you have Bradley, a slight favorite at home here against USF. Bradley is 8-2 coming into this one. USF is 9-2 on a 4-game winning streak. Bradley lost their last game out, snapping their winning streak as they lost to Santa Clara 84-74 as a 3-point dog. San Francisco, meanwhile, covered against Loyola of Illinois, also won and covered against St. Louis coming in. Bradley is 3-1 against the spread so far at home. And here you have them laying just 1.5 at this point, maybe 2. No, 1.5, pretty much everywhere at this point for Bradley. Tickets are rolling in heavy on Bradley in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but Bradley's gone over in 7 of their 9 games so far this season. San Francisco's been a break-even proposition, or a half 5-5 to the over/under so far, but I'm going to end up with Bradley in this game at home against San Francisco. I like Bradley to win. And Nunya took Memphis. Fernando, he took San Francisco. He's like, hey, I'm the former quarterback of the Cal Bears. I'm taking San Francisco. All right. And Joey there says, look what he says on that one, right? Memphis with that team total there, but you're taking on Virginia, right? I'd have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, it's not going to be that Virginia defensive situation today. All right, let's see what we got here. That might be Virginia, though, and it doesn't score enough. Butler and Marquette here as we move into the late action, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Got Marquette here favored by 13. The widely reported steam came in on Marquette. Might be actually a little higher than this. Let's see. Yeah, Marquette is 14 and 150 right now as the spread. There we go. Marquette favored there. This one's on Fox Sports 1. Butler comes in on a 3-game losing streak, but they lost to Wisconsin. They lost to North Dakota State as a 13.5-point favorite, and they lost to Houston by 28 as a 7.5-point dog. Marquette not covering very many games either, coming off that loss to Dayton. They did beat Wisconsin and got the money there, but they lost to Iowa State and didn't cover. They were 6-point dogs and lost by 11. See what you have in this one with Butler and Marquette. Pretty big number here for Marquette. Butler can maybe hang in this one. The meeting last season here at Marquette was 69-62. Butler got the upset win here at Marquette last year. So Marquette has kind of dominated the series overall, but Butler scored last time. We know there's nothing wrong here with Butler. They are 7-4. Yeah, the North Dakota State game certainly raises a little bit of flags here in a 4-game non-cover streak right now. But like I said, Marquette 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 games as well. So the game they won and covered was against Wisconsin. So an obvious motivational spot there. Let's take a look here in this one. Thomas likes Marquette. Dave says he might even go to the game tonight. And here's Robert going under here in this one. And at 150, I mean, I feel like that's my premium here. Dave likes the over, though. Okay. Well, I'm going to try Butler here in this one. Plus the points tonight. Give me Butler plus 13, plus 14 against Marquette. Oklahoma is taking on Michigan, probably the featured game here. This one's being played in Charlotte at the Jordan event. So got Michigan here favored. The Jumpman event, Michigan here is 3. All these are Jumpman teams. I mean, that's why they're playing in the Jumpman event. Oklahoma comes in here 10-0. Michigan currently at 8-2 here in this one. So Michigan, has losses, but they're going to be live here in this game, no doubt. I mean, they're favored to win after all. They lost to Arkansas 89-87 as a 3.5-point dog last time out. They did beat Iowa, but failed to cover a 9.5-point spread. Oklahoma is 2-0 as an underdog against the spread so far this season. Michigan has gone under in 4 of their 5 games away from home so far this year. But, man, Oklahoma undefeated and an underdog here. I think they're an underdog for a reason. I am taking the Michigan Wolverines to win this game. I'll take them minus 3 points tonight against OU. And Justin has Michigan with me here in this one. All right, and one more tonight. Washington State will take on Washington here in this one with Washington favored by 2.5 and the total 149. So a little bit of a move here to Washington State and the over. There we go. All right, Washington State has that 3-game winning streak coming in here, and they cover it as well against Montana State, against Boise State, and against Nevada. Good roll here for Washington State. The Huskies are just 2-4 against the spread at home so far this season. Both these teams trending hard to the under. The Steam came in on the under, but looks like it went up to 149. So I'm not sure about the side. I think I'm actually going to take the under here. I feel like this is my premium pick in this game, but hey, there are a ton of games today. We can afford to give one here. I like the under here pretty seriously in this one. Washington State 0-4 to the under as an underdog so far. Washington 3-6 to the under so far this season. So I'll take the under here right now. Okay, here's a steam play, interestingly enough, that just came in moments ago. Butler and Marquette. We just talked about this game. I did take Butler, and, here comes the move on the under in the game. The steam's coming in on the under. It was 150. It's going to be 149 here in this one, it feels like right now, with Butler and Marquette. Steam coming into the under. Almost want to just give it out here right now. It might make the premiums. With the move, it might not. I'll just hold off on that, but I like Butler in that game. But no doubt some interesting steam there coming in right now with Butler and Marquette to the under. They had already steamed Marquette. I took Butler. Okay, I think that's it for the show. Any comments there on that last game? Let's see here. Marquette right there as well. And Robert here on Washington. We're seeing a little steam right now coming in the NFL with the Giants and the Falcons game to go over here in this one with that great quarterbacking duel, I guess. Total here going up to 41 or so in the Giants-Falcons game. Wow. Cash Kane thinks the Michigan game will go overtime. Thomas liked Michigan up there as well. Had some support for Michigan. So, all right. I don't know if we ever got to 2 consensus plays. Maybe the Vancouver Canucks, even though I was still 3-2, man. I don't know if we have a consensus parlay today. We only had one play, and it's on James Madison. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here with me on the morning steam. We'll just have to we got to pick our spots, man. We can't be just losing every parlay here, it feels like. And some days we haven't been able to come up with a consensus parlay. I only previewed 25 games here today, so I know it's hard to get 3 people on the same side. So, all right, be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific. Don't forget to join Mikey Money with pre-gaming today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, as he gets you ready for the primetime games for today's action. One bowl game will be underway, and then we'll have the night game and the NHL games of college basketball as well. And we'll have back to the NBA on Thursday with Thursday night football, of course, with the big game, the day that we're looking forward to, certainly with the Broncos and the Chargers there, and a bowl game also on Thursday night. So, all right, that's going to do it for me. Appreciate you all for being here. Don't forget, today, big day of college basketball. So why not join me over at winnable.com and pick up my college basketball plays. I promise you I'll have probably a dozen for sure sent out. And so pick them up maybe for just $4 today. Get all those plays plus my NHL and those football games, or get a week for $8 or a month for $20. It's just 50 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. Click on that QR code or go to winnable.com/Ramon to get my plays for today. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate everyone for joining me here on the show. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.